yourselves right up to here. Drink a good deal of it, make a good meal of it, stick to your old-fashioned beer. Now don't be afraid of it, drink till you're made of it. Now all together a cheer.
And hello once again, friends and lovers of beer everywhere in the world, wherever you may be. This is Mark McDermott, your one-take beer reviewer. I like to shoot videos talking about national brands of beer. I'm also in Chicago, where I talk about Chicago beers at beeronot.com. And today, once again, we're going to pick up a beer that should be available pretty widely. So hopefully it's all a plot to get more clicks. Because right now this should be an ad-free video because Google, or rather YouTube, says they're not going to show ads on videos that don't get 4,000 clicks a month. Well, I can't help that. You can't click on it enough to put on ads, so just be happy, I guess. This is from Pabst Brewing Company, which some of us would say are not a real brewer. All they are is a holding company. All their assets are basically pieces of paper on file with the Trademark and Patent Office in Washington that says they have the right to brew a beer but named Pabst or Narragansett or Old Style, and then they just contract it out to other breweries. And this is the Pabst APA. They usually, you know it for their Pabst Blue Ribbon, which a lot of people actually do like in spite of its overhypeness. But this is a Pabst American Pale Ale, as if you couldn't tell from the flag thing on the can. And actually, Pabst has reopened an experimental brewing company in Milwaukee, and they are contract brewing this, though, in La Crosse, which means it's at the former G. Heilemann Old Style Brewery, which is now called City Brewing. Although Rate Beer lists that place is closed, but I can't find anything to confirm that. So we'll assume that that is still being made there. They have also been contract brewing some of their brands at places like Miller and the former. Well, anyway, that's. I'll think about things as I go along. But the Minhas Brewery, the place that used to be the Huber or Augsburger Brewery. But anyway, I'm probably being wildly inconsistent and incorrect here. Let's just open this up. There's not too much information on the label. You go to the site you go to the beers listing on Rate Beer, and they have a blurb that says it's brewed with Liberty and Cascade hops. Looking over here, our American Pale Ale is easy to drink and a good balance of malt and hops. Well, that makes it a beer. Well, let's not be insulting because we could be surprised. And it's been a long, busy weekend. Had to mow the lawn twice. I had to mow the lawn this week and the previous week. Usually you can go 2 weeks without it. I just spilled a couple drops here, but we'll get that in just a moment. Yes, people keep dinging me for pouring a beer like this, but you just want it quickly. You want it poured quickly. You get a nice look at the foam, and you get a sniff of what the hops are bringing up. And this is still more like a mega brewed lager style to me. It has kind of the kind of a very light hop note to it, but still a kind of I don't want to say skunky, but it just kind of has that basic smell of your average lawnmower beer to it. But that's a lot of the foam talking, perhaps. And nothing I show you on this camera is going to really capture the color as I see it, but it's just a slightly darker, almost amber color as opposed to a regular lawnmower beer, so there's a little bit more body to this one. Well, I get some hop to it. It's got a very light malt profile, so it's pretty much tastes like any other very light beer. Let's just try some more again. Yes, this is the company that owns Old Style, and they did do a good thing by actually returning the krausening process to it. So we'll give up. We're trying it here. And just looking at my list here, it is a 5% 5% ABV, that is, alcohol by volume. So it's a pretty regular strength beer, and only 20 international bitterness units. So, if that's the style they want to go for, they're not going to win over any hopheads, anyone who's really hooked on a Sierra Nevada or an India Pale Ale. And some hop bitterness does start to come through. I mean, the Cascade hops are kind of the hops that started out the whole American Pale Ale trend. And I do start to get some of this popping up on me now. Just more of a regular bitterness, not much resiny or pine character that you'd normally get from the northwestern hops. So I think it's a little bit mellowed, and the hopping schedule is not too deep, but that's kind of to keep it from totally overwhelming a very light malt profile. But this has grown on me as I've drunken just this little bit. I have to admit, this is the Pabst American Pale Ale, being brewed at City Brewery in La Crosse, Wisconsin, probably on tap or formulated at their revived brew house in Milwaukee. And it's a good introductory beer for the summer, I just gotta say. Something to bring around and of course it's in tall boy cans, so that can't be bad. Should be, as their slogan used to say, Pabst is here at popular prices. So I'm going to say that this one is worth a try. It's a pretty good, as I said, beer for just sitting back in the chair and certainly trying for yourself. And this is Mark McDermott, the One Take Beer Reviewer, the guy at Beeronaut.com, saying once more, have a beer in your hand and you'll have a great summer.